How y'all doing? Okay, let me get on YouTube for a second. Let me reopen it up real quick. Oh, Genocide's End. I gotta watch that. I gotta check that out. Anyways, so for me today, it's been a rainy day. Nothing but rain, if you will. Nothing but rain. Anyways, let's go outside and go sit out there for a bit. Let's go sit. Let's go sit out there. No, Mr. Keaty. Alright. So I don't know how wet everything is out here since it has been raining all day. But I wanted to come out here and I wanted to talk to you guys, man, for a little bit. Let me see how wet this is. Is it still raining right now? No, it kind of stopped. Okay, good. Oh, I forgot there was water all over my patio for a second. I forgot about that. Okay, I just stepped in a big-ass puddle of water. I bet this pillow is fucking soaked beyond belief. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe change my posture today or something. Maybe change the way I stream. Like, what about, like, right here or something? Hope it doesn't cover the jack too much. Anyways, so what I was going to say, because I couldn't see any of the comments until just now. Freaking water in my general environment. I don't know why. Well, I know why. It's raining today. That's why. But we can't usually stream the usual way today. It's kind of weird, but hey, it's how it is. But yeah, there we go. Let me move it so you guys can see me a little better. But yeah, so what is it? Okay. Sorry, I'm just making sure everything's set up somewhat better than before. Because usually when I do these outside little vlog talk things, I try to make sure not too much of my surroundings is shown off. Mainly because, like, you know, you don't know what's going to be on. You don't know what type of people are watching. But I have something for you on the 30th of October, yes or no? I don't really know. Something? Maybe? I don't know. I gotta see it. Ooh, tree reveal. Yep, we got a tree. I got a lot of trees in my area, dude. Like a stupid amount of trees. But I wanted to sit down and kind of talk about why I'm playing. What's up, bro? Hey, what's up? Welcome to stream. I wanted to talk about why I'm just deciding to, like, not really play anything outside of Undertale fan games. And, just at the moment, right? Just at the moment, because you never know. Things might change. You know, maybe I will play something else. But, I want to talk about that for a little bit. To kind of get, you know, because I know there's a lot of people that watch this channel and that just expect, like, something different every week. This is probably for some of you, probably the most focused you've ever seen me, or the most one category version of me you've ever seen, probably. I don't know. Maybe you have seen me like this before, where I would just stick to one thing, or stick to one category, or whatever. But I want to talk about that, because I think it's important to kind of really bring that up and stuff. So one of the main reasons I decided to just dedicate my time to a lot of Undertale or Deltarune fan games, or just actual Undertale and, you know, actual Undertale stuff or whatever, is mainly because I am just so sick and tired of, like, I think most video game categories I have played. Rain, huh? I love it, you know. Yeah, I love Rain too. It's good. It's way better than fucking Heat 24/7. especially if you live in Arizona or anywhere part of Arizona, like Phoenix, you know, all that stuff. All that shit sucks. Like, the constant heat sucks. So, having some good rain and actual cool weather is actually really nice. It's a nice change of pace. But, I was gonna say, I've been playing a lot of them because, to me, I don't know, to me, it's so much easier just to pick up and play, like, a little Undertale fan game and do, like, the same things, like, over and over, or the same battles in different ways over and over again, versus what I used to do. Like, I would play a billion things, never necessarily finish them, because my goal when I would usually game, at least back then, would be to finish what I play, right? That would be a big thing. I would try to finish every single game I ever, like, try to touch or try to play or whatever the fuck. And, you know, obviously that got the better of me most of the time, or almost every time I pick one of them up, you know, and I wouldn't really like it that much. I wouldn't really like having the pressure or the idea of me finishing that game or finishing something, you know. I'm kind of annoyed of the idea of I need to finish this to, you know, have a complete playthrough or have a complete, or, you know what I mean? Just a full, like, playthrough, let's play, fucking bullshit, yabba yabba do, scribble libby dibby. You know what I mean? A lot of the time I really try to care about the game in question and the whole playthrough, the whole aspect of it. And I noticed, for me, it's a lot easier for me to find Undertale fan games that are on mobile devices or web browsers and shit, whip them up for a video and just play it for that video, regardless of if you beat it or not. It's just so much easier doing that than, like, sitting down for, like, 2 to 3 hours and playing Super Mario Brothers like I did before. Y'all remember what happened? If y'all watched that stream, y'all would know what happened, why I don't like playing, like, Mario Bros that much anymore. I don't like fucking with... Because I explained this to Louie. I didn't really necessarily explain this to y'all, but I explained it to Louie. I'm like, bro, I would much rather play Undertale fan games and not finish them, because at least I go in there already knowing I'm going to fail. I'm going to die. I'm going to make little to no progress, or very minuscule progress, right? And I'm just going to have a good time with it anyway. I'd rather have that mentality than go into a game and be like, all right, let's go into this game. I'm going to do my best and maybe even beat it or some shit. But I'll beat it in maybe multiple smaller say-so parts, right? I don't like doing that anymore. You know, again, I would much rather have, like, those Undertale fan games. Brandon Chugs, hi, how you doing? Welcome to stream. I can say that this maze is giant or a small. It is scary, not you can choose the what? You can do what to them? I'm sorry, what? Yeah, I've never been a fan of mazes. But, yeah, but anyways, in my Mario gameplay video, you know, it gave me, like, a big reminder of why I'm even on this path in the first place, you know, with a lot of the games I used to play, and why I'm sticking to, one category. It's just a lot easier for me to be like, you know what? I want to have some fun. I want to fuck around with this, regardless of how difficult it is. I want to fuck around with this, see how far I can go, or how far I can't go, and that's what I want to do for the rest of my time. Like, you know, playing a lot of video games. Jeez, it is wet as fuck on my patio. It is wet. I need to say it's easier. See you in a couple of days. I guess. I don't know if I am gonna play, so who knows. You a grown ass man? I guess you can say that, you know, grown ass man. 23. I don't really consider 23 really grown. Because, I'm gonna say this, right? you can, okay. See, that's probably another confusing thing, right? Because depending on who you are, right? I would say either 23. Because there's a lot of factors when you people say grown ass man and shit. Because I don't know, are you a grown ass man like at 23 because you already got the headspace of a grown ass man? Or are you like a 23-year-old child or a teenager or something else? You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know. That's my perspective on that, or at least what I think about it as. Because a lot of people have different ways to define a grown ass man. Like nowadays, because there's so many. I mean, not nowadays, but I don't know. There's just so many ways you can define a grown ass man. Because I would say a grown ass man is not only your age will reflect that, but how you act on top of that will reflect if you're a grown ass man. And the way you are as a person shows if you're a grown ass man or a little ass boy or a teenager or a kid or just something, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about that. Because I feel like in this world today, there's a lot of grown ass, there's millions upon millions of grown ass men. But there's also millions of grown ass, there's also a lot of kids, in their 20s. I would argue you're still a damn kid in your 20s. At least some of your 20s. Not all of your 20s, but some of your 20s, you're still looked at as a kid. I mean, I would argue that. I mean, come on. What? Every old-ass adult will walk up to you, they see, hey, what's up, kiddo? How you doing? If they see you and you look young enough, they'll call you a kid regardless of your age. You know what I mean? So, I would still say being in your 20s, you definitely are a kid. I would argue, like, being an adult is probably later in your 20s than you are in your, 30s and stuff. Or no, not 30s. I meant later 20s, like later on in your 20s than earlier bits in your 20s. But then again, it also depends on like how you, like mentally you are and stuff and all that other sort of shit. But anyways, I got off topic on that topic. The good part, man, is you're close to 5K. I am pretty close to 5K, still doing what I do and yada 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 do and stuff like that, man. But that's true, Void. I am close to 5K, and I'm really happy about that. I really am. But I also want to talk about something else too, as well. I want to mention other than the fan games and why I'm choosing to play only certain games and not like everything I used to play anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll still record like rage comps for them. I'll still record. And by the way, if you're wondering how my day was pretty alright, so far. I played a little bit of Ending Tale. I woke up. I made a new video, and stuff and whatnot. I'm just doing the basic Alrekisu TM things, like the regular stuff that I would normally do every other day. But anyways, I wanted to talk about this a little bit, why I'm doing things that you do. I'm gonna go eat. You want some? I mean, did I eat today? No, I did not eat today. Oh my goodness. I keep forgetting I never eat in the morning. So, yeah, maybe I could take some, depending on what it is. Yeah, I'll probably have some. Or not. I don't know. Shit. Freaking flying stuff around. But, yeah, but that's one of the reasons why, like, I just stopped playing a lot of the games I used to play is mainly because I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of dying and then trial and error restarting. Because when it's all a matter of perspective and the mindset for me. Because when I go into playing Super Mario Brothers, or any sort of Mario game or Sonic game or Crash Bandicoots or Donkey Kongs or Mega Mans or whatever the fuck I want to play, most times I want to go in there to not only have like a good time, but I also want to win. I want to beat the damn game at a good time or something like that. I go in there with the idea of I can do this, I can win, I can do anything. I can do it, you know what I mean? I want to do it for as long as I can and then, be done and then come back later, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. Right? you know, that mentality I've been carrying for so long that now it's like, since I like sort of semi dropped that mentality, right? And just focused on Undertale fan games, my perspective has completely changed. It's like, you know, I'm going into these Undertale fan games. Alright, I already know I'm shit. I already know I'm probably not going to make it too far. Like, I'll surprise myself if I make it somewhere like halfway through or something like that. You know, but I'm not, and you guys see that in the videos. I'm not really beating myself over, like, I'm not beating myself with a fucking branch over my own head constantly, you know, because of how shitty I am, being so angry at myself for being shitty. I've literally accepted the fact that I'm already shit going into the game, and I just want to see and have a little bit of fun on there, you know? And it's so much easier for me to do that with those games versus fucking, like, a lot of the games I would normally play. Hence why, in that Mario video, if you guys saw that Super Mario Brothers Deluxe full playthrough, how angry I was getting, how fucking destructive I was getting, because I'm beating myself over the head with a fucking tree branch 24/7 at almost every depth, or what the hell is right in front of me. At least with the Undertale fan games, I can look at it and be like, yep, absolute chaos is happening on the screen, but I can look at it with a fucking smile. Yeah, but I can look at it for a smile and be like, you know what? I'm fine with this. I'm okay with this. You know, let the chaos happen. I'm just here for a good couple of minutes, 20, 30, 40 minutes, maybe an hour or two, just depending on how long the game is. And I'll be done and I'll never have to worry about it again after this. It is, and I'm telling you, it is so much easier for me doing that than it is giving a shit about a game all the way through for so goddamn long, for so many days or weeks or however long I'm fucking on it for. And sure, again, I'll make like exceptions, like Undertale, because Undertale is one of the greatest things that I've ever played. Like, it's up there as one of the greats, you know, and stuff like that. But, you know, but it's so refreshing, honestly, playing games with that mindset that I'm already shit. I want to see how far I can go here. I'm going to deal with it for a stream. And then, you know what? We done. We done. We don't got to worry about it no more. It's cool. You know? I had fun. You guys probably had fun watching me and shit. We both had fun. You know? And I know there's some people on my page that are like nowhere near as interested in Undertale. And that's fine. I'm not expecting everybody to be into Undertale or Deltarune. But that's just how my content's going to be. You know? For a long while, or a pretty long time. Until maybe I want to come out the woodworks again and maybe see what I can do. But I notice every time I step out of my lane for a little bit, yeah, things don't go right. So when I stick to my lane, things are absolutely fine. But when I don't stick to it and try to do something else, things just don't go my way. Or things just don't go as expected. And it's not about, like, I want to control every single thing like somebody else does or anything. It's all about me. And it's all about keeping myself cool during the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think is absolutely important to me. And that's what I'm trying to convey myself to do, like, nowadays, right? I'll get on, you know, I'll go hang out with friends and stuff and go hang out and maybe see what I can do. You know, maybe talk with Chris today or something, or maybe see what other people got up their alley or something. But what the, is Louis awake? Oh, Dad's back? What the hell? I didn't know Dad was gonna be back this. Well, it is like what, 12 or something? I don't know, 10. But I wanna, like, you know, like, learn to do better, keep myself more in control and stuff, and because I obviously know, like, this autism I got going on and shit, and this ADHD or whatever the fuck problems I got, I know what they are, I know how to deal with them, and I deal with them in my own way, you know, and I'm not gonna, you know, force others to deal with it, you know, deal with me if they don't want to deal with me, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm not trying to say, like, I want to be, like, if we're talking, right, let me set this example better. if we're talking, we talk. We talk, we communicate, we have fun, we do that stuff, we do that. I'm not trying to control you and stuff and be like, hey, you have to act like this now when you're around me. You can be yourself completely around me. That's fine, you know? But obviously, I'm just going to be working on myself. Probably the most of the time we communicate, to be honest. Just kind of work and just kind of maybe not bring it up to here all the time, 24/7, you know? And keep it down to a minimum. Keep it down to a more relaxed level, you know? And I noticed after a couple weeks of me being by myself, constantly keeping it on my level and stuff, things have been good, like for me. But I feel like for things around me, right? Like either aren't at, like, for some reason, I don't know why, I just feel this way out of nowhere, out of random. I feel this way whenever I like do something that I would normally like to do, and I have a good time, but it feels like everybody around me or even people within my circle like are either not having a good time or like something's different about them, right? Like just something is overall different. Like my energy is the same, ever since I've had this revelation in my goddamn stupid ass fourth degree level brain, right? But it feels like everything else around me is either feeling something is off with them or like something. I get that certain vibe about certain people, man. Or like I get that vibe whenever I'm around nowadays, like in general when I'm around them or something. Something feels wrong. I don't know if anybody gets that, what I mean by that, but it just genuinely feels like that. Something feels wrong. Like, it almost feels like someone just, like, hear me out. It almost, whenever, like, you have a joke, and it's, like, the funniest joke on the planet, and then the other person that you're with, because you're, like, with more than one person, they just say something that completely killed the moment. That's what it feels like. That's like the best way I can describe it. Whenever I'm like around like other people around me and shit. Or when I'm around other people, that's what it feels like. Like the joke was just murdered. The joke was killed. But did you see the new YouTube update? You can record a message for a comment. Wait, can you? Actually? What? No, I actually haven't seen that at all. The most we talked was in stream. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, a lot of people I notice is like for example, like Nick or something. I talk with them like sporadically, right? Gio or Gaio or Gio. I think it's G-O-I. Hoy. Hi, how you doing? Then I am so sorry if I butchered this word. I apologize. I'm really bad with spelling and I'm bad with words. I am Vietnamese, and I'm bad with saying a lot of things that aren't like in my face all the time or something like that. I apologize if I'm horrible, but I noticed that a lot as of late. Yeah, Dad being back so early is weird. Well, actually, he did go at like 3. What time is it? Is it already 11? No, it's only 10 o'clock. What the hell? But, yeah, that's weird. But, damn, my finger's been off all day, too. But, because I remember, something else I remembered, yesterday was, before I even streamed yesterday, I wanted to actually get on with Chris yesterday, and I wanted to, like, say, hey, you want to do, like, Mega Man X? Mega Man X1, since I know you've been waiting to do that for a long time, and, might as well do it. But then a part of me streamed Super Mario Brothers, and after that Mario Brothers stream, I was completely out of the void, man. I didn't want to do nothing with nobody after that stream, dude. Nothing with nobody. And I notice that a lot when I get like seriously angry or if I'm seriously tired out from everything. I don't want to do nothing with anybody, you know? Like, no one outside, no one inside. I just want to be like by myself in this little fucking pocket thing that I got going on, or this little thing. And you know what? I also noticed, you know, shout outs to a lot of you guys, but a lot of you guys have actually left me alone after I had to fucking speak about it 4,000 times. But, yeah, because, like, I haven't gotten, like, the only person that really texted me today was, like, Void, just asking, yo, are you going to go live? And I'm like, yeah, I'll go live. Just let me, like, figure shit out real quick, because I'm doing, like, this video real quick. Slash, I've been doing this video, slash, I've been thinking of a video for, like, I think most of my day was, like, spent on how to make this certain video that I'm going to upload. I don't know when, but just this certain video I made. That's like longer than a minute, or about a minute something, actually, not longer than a minute. Well, technically it is longer than exactly 1 minute, but it isn't like exactly like 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 4 minutes and beyond. It's still like in the minute range, but it's like a little bit longer than a minute. But anyways, I was like spending, I think, most of my day trying to make that video, and then after that video, I was like, okay, fuck, choosing what do I want to go live on, and then it's like I have all these Undertale fan games right here. Even one new even a Deltarune fan game, a fan fight actually, more like, not really necessarily like well, it still is a fan game, regardless if it's just one fight, but you get it. I found it earlier. It is another mobile one, so it isn't one I can use Bluetooth, which I noticed there's so many fan games that do not support Bluetooth controls. I do not like that. I'm really going to have to make it my experience with Undertale fan games and talk about that. That's going to be one of my bullet points when I make that video, when I get around to it, because that really bugs the shit out of me, because I'm so used to controller or whatever. And I know, again, a lot of them are supposed to be played with keyboard, but I never play Undertale with a fucking keyboard. Fuck. Like, I've only ever played Undertale with a PlayStation controller. I guess playing Undertale with a controller is weird because there's so many people who play it on PC. I know that's where it originally released on first, was PC and stuff. It was a PC-oriented game, then got re-released later for consoles like Switch, PlayStation, I think Xbox and shit. But other than that, should be fine. Anyways, I am Vietnamese. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, man. Welcome. How was your day going, man? How's your day? But other than that stuff aside, which, again, I do want to thank y'all for actually leaving me the fuck alone, because I genuinely do want to be left alone, like, most of the time now, if not all times. But there are times I notice where I do want to, like, come back and, like, see you guys, you know, and stuff. Like, maybe get on call, get in Discord, or whatever. But now it just kind of, it doesn't feel alien for me to do that. It just feels like it takes so much more effort now to do that than just to be like, you know what, fuck it. Because I think on that thought for a while, you know? Because I kind of, I think, grew a mindset on, like, if I talk to them today, how will I respond to talking with them today? Am I gonna go bad shit ballistic? Like, not like in a bad way, but I mean like bad shit ballistic, like I'm just about to show all of my fucking energy. Or am I gonna, or maybe actually be like, hey man, maybe I can chill or something, but I don't know. Because, again, there's just something in my way completely now after I've made my statement about wanting to talk with people. Like, I don't know why, but I guess for some reason in my own mind, I created my own barrier between myself and everybody else. It feels like that I need to always be on my side. You know, I always need to be isolated. You know? It feels weird. I'm not trying to say you're weird or anything, but it's just a me thing. This isn't like a you thing. This isn't like a your fault thing. Again, I want to stress this enough because I know a lot of people misunderstand what I say or misunderstand or it's either misunderstand or misinterpret, things that I say a lot of the time because the way I speak sometimes I put it makes it sound like it's in this way or that way. I'm just trying to make sure we're all on the same page. But it's more of like a me thing, right? Where I just kind of put this wall between myself and everybody else. Not to protect myself. It isn't because I'm afraid of anything, but it's just due to like my own thoughts and like everything that's kind of happened. And it's like, I don't want to like just constantly put that on people. You know what I mean? Like, when you think of me now, ever since after like the whole incident and stuff, about how I wanted to blah 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 that and this, it's like it's like ever since then, I think a lot of people think of me pretty differently now. They don't think of me as, and I'm not trying to say I want to be thought of as the exact same. I do want to be thought of differently than I was then. I mean, it is kind of showing already in my videos a little bit how I am being a little different, right? But I feel like, that's honestly what I feel like sometimes, is like, people don't think of me quite the same as I was, or maybe they gotta think of being around me in this way, or when they be around me, they have to be like this, they have to be careful this or careful that or this or that. Like, basically, think of it as like you putting up like a lot of safeguards or something. Like, oh, I can't do this, or I can't say that, or this or that, or whatever, yada yada yada. Because I don't know how Alan's gonna react now. After his whole thing, like more than a week ago. And you did say, like, nah, I see you as the same, but that's not the same, like, you may see me the same way, but there's a lot of people out there, after I made those videos, after I made that announcement that I want to be more by myself, more alone, more isolated, away from people, from all my stress, that I went through playing all this stupid shit, and, made me want to do this and that, and it's like, when people hear that from somebody, their perspective on them changes, for a lot of people. Because, like, when you don't bring up your issues or something like that at all, or, you don't talk about it, like I probably haven't for the longest time or whatever, or something like that. I mean, I do talk about problems. I talk about them all the time, but you get what I mean, right? Where I'm going with this somewhat. When you don't bring up your problems, people will treat you, like I mentioned, the same. Like the same before because they don't know any better. But like when you reveal that shit to them, when you tell people what's going on in your mind, like the honest truth, what's going on in your head all the time, what's going on with you, and all this other sort of stuff. Once you reveal that, like, people will treat you differently. Even if, right, it's a very little change. There's still something different that they see in you that's different now. Like, oh, Alan's hanging out with me. Like, for example, I'll use, like, the last time I hung out with, damn, look at this puddle. But, my bad, I got distracted by a puddle. Look at the last time I hung out with Chris, right? Chris and I made it awkward when we last hung out, because ever since, that gap, I said I wasn't going to talk to anybody, and I whipped him up and you, Void, on that stream during Roblox like 2-3 weeks ago. You can notice in Ronnie's speech pattern uh, that it was completely different. It was weird. It was awkward. Whoa, whoa, you're showing up around here, you know? After so long, you're actually talking with me for a little bit? Even if it's for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, what's going on here? Right? Because, you know, again, we've went weeks without talking to each other. And I bet Nick definitely feels this way too, because I'd argue probably longer without talking with him than I do with Chris, but because I'll talk with Nick like every once or two times, three times, four times a week. You know, every other week. It's usually when he always asks me to hang out and stuff, and I'd be like, oh fuck, I forgot, because I do genuinely forget whenever I ask to hang out with him, because I would want to do that, but then I always forget because I'm always doing this stupid ass. Well, not stupid ass, but I'm doing this YouTube thing all the time, and that kind of takes a lot of my time, and not just because I'm doing the YouTube thing, but I generally just forget because I'm doing so much within my day. I'm either he asked me when I'm already hanging out with Chris for a couple of hours and we're already doing shit like voiceovers or whatever the hell over there, you know, we're doing stuff like that over there. But then we're not, and it's weird. It's a thing. But I do go way longer without talking to Nick than I do with Chris. I mean, I'm not saying it's gotten so bad now, but I remember, you know, since Nick doesn't watch my videos on a regular basis, you know, so he doesn't know like how I'm constantly feeling all the time. He just does like once a week, 2 week, couple of week checkups on me to see how I'm doing and stuff in my videos and streams. He doesn't really like show up to doesn't really get me in a party anymore, I noticed, which, you know, again, I kind of hate the fact that I have to take it to such drastic measures just to be left alone for a while, but, you know, what else was I gonna do? I can't just explain it nicely, otherwise, you know, people won't get what I mean sometimes. I mean, people will, but then again, there's also people that just won't, and it's like, after explaining it multiple times, that's one thing that bothers me too, is when I explain something, right, multiple times over, because people don't get the gist of what happened, I'm like, okay, I get it. I haven't seen you in the last couple of streams. I will be nice and I will explain it to you, you know, in this stream. But just kind of keep that in your head from now on, you know what I mean? But if you've been here and you've seen those vlogs and shit, and you're still asking what's going on, there's multiple streams of me explaining it, bro. I don't want to re-explain it every goddamn vlog, you know what I'm saying? Because I noticed I am getting tired of re-explaining things all the goddamn time. You know, all the time. I am getting annoyed with that. I just want to explain it once or twice, call it off, and that's it. You know, never again. Ow, fuck. Why is my finger like this? Why is my finger being more annoying? Oh, my bad, Jesse. I didn't see your comment there until just now. Do you care for Marvel Comic Invasion? I saw that game, and I was interested. It's because I remember. I think if I'm correct, I think Ronnie was the one that brought it up one time when I think it got announced forever ago, and I was like, "Oh, that looks kind of cool." Wasn't it like a, if I'm not mistaken? I think it was a beat 'em up game. I could be wrong about that. Am I wrong about that? Might be. I don't fucking know. But don't think about the past. Today is today. Today is today. But which that kind of goes into my next point a little bit about the past and the present. And I do want to talk about that a little bit because I noticed that I struggle with that a lot. You know, like for a long time, I would argue that, you know, for many years I struggled with this. I think I'm still struggling with this because essentially because I'm also a YouTuber, so like my past is reflected on me 24/7, 7 days a week, you know, by by a lot of like different people on a regular basis, and mostly in good ways. I'm not gonna say bad ways, but when people tell me or just say, "Hey, focus on the present," focus on this moment, I'm not gonna say it's impossible because it's very possible, and I do it. I do focus on the moment, in the moment right now. But I would say it's ultimately really hard for me because I'm a YouTuber, right? And YouTubers, right, regardless of whatever they do currently, their past is always going to be right there beside them. Because, for example, right, you make a video. It ends up being a banger fucking video, right? Banger video, right? So much to the point that people are talking about it weeks, months, years after you've already done it, right? And you go over to those comments and you want to reply, and some people are either really nice about that video or really negative about that video, or maybe somewhere in between about the video. And it's like, no matter what a YouTuber does, right? They can't, I mean, they can, but they also can't necessarily go away from their past. And I say that because of everything I just mentioned. Because of, like, they can, like me, for example, right? I'm going to use myself and maybe me and Ronnie as an example. People love when we play Mega Man, right? I love it when I play Mega Man. Ronnie loves it when we play Mega Man. When we play Mega Man together and do playthroughs and all that other sort of shit, right? We love it when we do Mega Man and stuff, right? And people love, hearing my Dr. Wily and stuff, and some people will be like, "Hey, dude, I remember when you did Dr. Wily a couple of times here or there." That's exactly what I mean, And it's in a good way, so it's in a good way to kind of boost, the moment and kind of enjoy the moment a little more and stuff, And, things are good, but that's exactly what I mean. Like, regardless of good or bad, you're still going to be reminded of it, and you're still going to, like, I don't know, maybe live the moment. Also, if you ever watch your own videos, you're technically watching your past too. So, a little bit of a, I didn't think about it until just now, but you sort of are doing that in a way. Or if you decide to like make something new out of older content, you technically are still watching like a past thing and you're sort of making it new by uploading it later on, but it's still old because that's when you initially did it, is months ago or weeks ago or something like that ago or a couple days ago or whatever. So it's really hard for like someone like me to be like, yeah, I can walk away from this and be like, yeah, that was my past, because I remember whenever me and other people would I fucking hate doing, fuck it, I'm just gonna be real. Because when me and my dad conversate about this sort of thing, most of the time, or sometimes, not all the time, because it doesn't happen all the time. It only happens on a basis that isn't really consistent. But sometimes I bring up what I say to, and this is about the topic, about the past, to my dad. And then my dad kind of retaliates, kind of, reacts and says some shit like, why are you so focused on what I've done in the past or what someone else has did in the past? Is it right now? Is it this moment? You should focus on that. And it's like, yeah, I should focus on what the hell is right now. But, some of that is kind of eating me right now. And I would love just either a response on how to, like, either deal with that, or like how do I combat this a little bit better, not some type of, you need to worry about this now type thing, And usually, I don't know, to me, that's not really dealing with it. That's necessarily just because I remember me and Chris would talk about this too. Actually, we would because I would ask Ronnie like what would he think about my conversations with either my dad on this topic or somebody else on this topic, and Ronnie would say stuff like something along the lines of, because I can't say word for word direct, but just for you to get the point, right? Ronnie would say, dude, like, this is not how you should go about this, bro. Y'all should solve the problem if y'all have a problem right now, or if it's a past event or a past problem. Don't just try to fucking bury it under the hatchet because it can always come back up later. Fucking deal with it right now that you're dealing with it, and fucking like permanently be done with it. You know, like just get it done right then and there, basically, is what Ronnie said. And I agree with shit like that. Because it's like, I would rather have an idea how to fight this, or not fight it necessarily, but how to deal with it better, than, yeah, just bury it, and it'll eventually be gone. You know, because that doesn't work. And I can tell you it doesn't work because, you know, I've tried this time and time again, and I noticed it. I've tried it time and time again, like with my gaming, right? With my destructive gaming habits, right? When I would play a lot of games, right? I would be like, yeah, it's done, it's over with, you know. I'm done, you know. I won't get like that again, you know. You know, like, I'll just bury this under the hatchet. This never happened. Tomorrow will be a new day. So when I wake up in the morning and look to my goddamn left, it isn't there anymore. The hole in the wall from Punch-Out Wii challenges is still there, my guy. That isn't necessarily fixing the problem, that's burying it. And burying problems is not a good idea, in my honest opinion. I mean, look what it's done to my mental state, you know. My mental state is so fucked after all these experiences. I basically am a walking, like, my stress and my, like, think of it, right? Basically, whenever I touch something nowadays, or any sort of video game that isn't, like, what I normally would deal with, I'm basically a walking anxiety, stress, rage-induced person that just walks about with that feeling all day long, right? That's basically me when I do those type of things, when I play like Super Mario or something, or do all that stuff. When I'm not doing that stuff, you know, I can actually, like, maybe get to breathe a little bit, or maybe get to have a nice conversation, like I am right now in this vlog, you know. I get to actually conversate and maybe talk about all these things, and then, you know, I get to let out my steam, I get to let out my feelings, my everything that I got going on. It's nice. It's really nice doing this on a regular basis. It's nice. It's nice getting that opportunity. You know, to get to do that. Or maybe get to do that with others, so I can hear, like, other people's thoughts on this too. Which is what I would do with, like, Ronnie and other people. But right now, since I've been by myself, you know, which again is also really nice. You know, all that other sort of stuff. But you get it. You get what I mean, though, right? Like, I think some of y'all get what I mean. Yeah, I know the feeling, like in a call or a message. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta do baby steps on it now, you know? Because if I'm gonna be talking to people, like, again, that isn't like Louis or my dad, I gotta start baby steps, bro. I gotta start with one person, stick to that for a while, and then move around the whole circle. Move around the whole rotation. You know? I gotta rebuild myself on that again. I have to. And I know I gotta do it slow. I can't just fucking, like, it's kind of like me with the volunteering thing, you know? I tried, I failed, right? I took too many big steps forward instead of those baby steps, you know? I took 2 big steps. I was running and passing steps 2 to 8. And I was already at step 9 by the time I was done running. So that's just how it is. And I should never skip steps. Never, ever skip steps. Should always focus on the steps that I need to stay walking down, because if I can focus on just those steps, and since my thought process is way slower than most, I gotta be on that step for a long ass time before I actually will inevitably really understand and maybe move on to the next step. The next person I'm talking to. You know, because I feel like it's important. I mean, yes, I am talking to people on stream, but then again, that's like baby steps, you know, like get in real conversations and all that other sort of stuff, like outside of the streams and stuff. That's a new step. That's a new tier that I am willing to walk down again. But, you know, like I said, I still have that fucking wall up I have usually that I'm not really wanting to really let down for anybody just yet. You know, because of everything that happened. I just want to keep that wall up for as long as possible, because, like, you know, just so much shit was bugging me, so much shit's annoying me, and all that stuff. And now, is that a mosquito right there? Get that motherfucker out of the blanket and shit. But you get it. I don't want to ramble on about this for too much longer, but you get it. Oh, God. I'm going to have to wash these fucking, things, because this is some mucky-ass water. Mucky-ass puddles of rain and all that other sort of stuff. One thing I kind of wish I had was, like, I don't know, some type of smaller device, a little bit. I don't know about an MP3 player, but something that would be, like, really cool just to kind of listen to music to on my walks and stuff a little more. Because don't get me wrong, I love, like, walking around, like, because I go outside, right? Hear me out when I go outside. I go outside, right? And, I always have to rock, like, the same backpack Louis brings to work. Put my tablet in there, Bluetooth my headphones, and then go out and listen to music. I don't want to constantly look like I'm a college student every single time I want to go on a walk. You know, I just want to look like somebody that's just enjoying a nice stroll, you know, instead of looking like a kid that's going to school or getting out of school or something. Because I feel like that's what I look like constantly, all the goddamn time, you know, and it's kind of annoying. Other than that, like me being on my strolls and shit and walking, you know, I do enjoy those walks, jogs to multiple different places. It's nice. It equals a lot of shit. Also, another thing I have noticed, right? I really noticed, right? And this is another thing that would really bother me, right? When I'm gaming and stuff. And this is something that I'm grateful for that it doesn't happen a lot. I mean, it does happen a lot. It happens almost every time I'm frustrated, but sometimes, like, and this happens, I'm going to keep it real with you guys, right? This happens on a regular basis when I game and I'm getting so frustrated, right? That, like, I don't know if it's just, like, weird, but hear me out if it is. But my hearing changes, bro. And it gets so sensitive while I'm frustrated because not only I'm dealing with my own noise, right? But I'm also dealing with everybody else's noise around me too. And it's like, for example, I'm going to use just everything I have, for example, right? The game audio, for example, is noise I have to constantly listen to, right? Like, if my brother's awake, he's fucking talking. My brother's awake making noise and I hear his shit. Like, that's also noise, right? I hear, like, my dad's noise, like him talking and shit. Whatever he's got going on and shit. Not completely, but I just hear it and everything starts to bug the shit out of me to the point I want to put a hole in the wall, you know, when I get that frustrated because all that level of noise becomes so much to me that I want to do something very drastic just to shut the noise out and only focus on my own noise. But because everything in my general vicinity is bothering the fuck... And this is only when I'm gaming, right? This is only when I'm getting very frustrated when gaming, right? When I'm at my absolute limit and I'm about ready to burst, right? That this would happen to me on a regular basis. And it was happening to me so much on a regular basis, in fact. Almost every game I played, this would happen if I'm getting so frustrated. And I don't know if it's due to my ADHD or if it's due to my autism or something like that. I would really love to go to a fucking doctor's office and get that checked out. But because of all that, right? And this is also another reason why I stopped gaming, is because I'm afraid of what I might do to, like, others or others' things if that shit keeps happening. And I noticed as well, when I get really angry, right, at something, that anger tends to linger. And that anger, when it lingers on for so long, I tend to visualize something that either is bothering me, or that's something that's this is also probably another reason why the past or past actions still bother the fuck out of me most times, because when I'm at my angriest, I don't know why, but shit usually floods my fucking memory bank of whatever, and it doesn't matter. It can be as far back as eons ago, but I don't know. For some reason, that past negativity feels like it feels like let me use a better example. I'll use this. Jesus, I didn't know this blanket was that much weight, but that past anger and aggression, think of this as current me, right? That I'm currently angry about the current circumstances, and pretend me is like the past, right? Or whatever past actions, doesn't matter, so on and so forth. It will latch on to me and like hug me and treat it like it's the present. And I would be so angry about it that like all of it would feel like the present, which is why I sometimes, and now I'm starting to understand, this is why I actually go out and fucking hit stuff to try to make me feel, not to make me feel like that anymore, because I know it is the past actions and the past. It doesn't matter anymore, but for some reason, like I said, it just floods back to my mind, fueling my anger. So I try to fucking hit something or I hit something hard to make my knuckles, like, hurt. Just so I don't think about it anymore. Or all I think about is how much pain I'm in, instead of, like, all those negative emotions and negative thoughts sometimes. And I know that is really not healthy but to do. But it just happens so much and so frequently that I just can't deal with it anymore, you know, and I end up just doing that. I mean, sometimes to the point that my knuckle is just like always fucking, like, my middle knuckle is always bigger because I'm always like doing it, for example. And since I'm always doing it, it ends up getting so big and swollen and shit and whatever. And I just can't do anything else. Like, it just feels like I can't let it out any other way than just causing at least my hands some type of physical pain, just to get rid of all that fucking negative emotion. At least just to dim down the pain and shit. Or just at least, I don't know, feel pain to get rid of the fucking negative feelings that I have about shit that shouldn't matter, but yet it still does whenever I'm so damn angry at that boiling point on my walks and shit. Whenever I do go on walks that I'm angry about. Like, because I go on walks for like multiple different reasons, but the main two is if I'm really fucking angry about something, or if I'm just absolutely fine. I am fine. When I'm fine, I don't even get angry at all. I'm just in my own happy mindset, in my own bubble, just thinking to myself, hey, this is a great day. You know, but if I'm really frustrated about something, which was most of the time that I've lived here, or most of the time that you guys would see me, I'm frustrated as fuck. I'm thinking about all the things I did earlier, like why the fuck did that stream even happen the way that it did, or like I mentioned before, even further back thoughts would come up to try to eat me alive, and And that's why I'm just like, yo, you know what? Though those games that I would play are just not fucking good for me, man. You know, they just aren't good. They really aren't good. Which is why I'm just trying to give a fuck less by just playing stuff, like I said, those Undertale fan games, those Deltarune fan games, or actual Deltarune and Undertale, where it's like, okay, I know I suck at this, and understandably so, but I'll still, like, do my best and see what I can do, and then hop off. I won't really give a fuck all that much. Which is, again, like I said, the mindset I'd rather have when I play, instead of giving a fuck so much. I give a fuck about what I do, even the slightest bit. So it really affects me when I do really give a shit and I'm still failing at what I want to do. So that's also what makes me so angry too, is I want to pass. Like I give a shit about this so much that I want to pass it up. It becomes my life for a while, or becomes who I am for a while until I get it done. And it eats at me, that I didn't do this or didn't do that, and then it causes a fucking whole disturbance in my flow, or a whole disturbance in my being and shit. But when I'm talking it out like this, I'm letting it out, and it goes up into the sky to, I don't know, be fucking let go in a way. Just completely gone. By the way, thank you for the 4 likes. I appreciate that. But it's completely gone. It's not there anymore. Or at least it's not in me currently anymore. Letting it all go. Hence why I like the way I am right now, and hence why I love doing voiceovers on the things I love instead of actually fucking playing them. Like, for example, like, when me and Ronnie do voiceovers, I am having so much fucking fun. Like, voicing Frieza, I'm laughing with him and shit, I'm doing that shit, but when I sit and play a lot of that shit, I'm not... Like, that fun completely outweighs the frustration, man. The fun, and... Think of it like a frustration meter and then the fun meter. Like, the fun meter is barely used. It's always just constant frustration. Oh, I keep forgetting. I'm sitting in a puddle, which... Ah, God. But, anyways, I digress. It's just the whole thing I have in my mind that I think about a lot. And since it kind of reflects on me on a day-to-day basis, it's kind of difficult for me. Which is why, I think another reason why I completely isolated myself, because it's better when I isolate myself, because I have a lot less to think about. Like, for example, when I'm hanging out with my friends and hanging out with my mates, I'm thinking about everything they've said from a couple minutes back, because keep in mind, I don't process things very fast, so, like, I'm still thinking about what people say to me or tell me sometimes, or most of the time. So it's difficult for me not only to think about what they're saying ongoing, but it's also tough for me to think about what they just said 5 minutes ago, and me trying to process what the fuck they said 5 minutes ago versus what they're saying now. So when I isolate and be by myself, completely by myself in my room watching videos and shit, and just allowing Lou to do his thing, and Dad do his thing without causing some type of disturbance because I'm frustrated, right, about something, it's a lot better for me because I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about just whatever's happening in the video, and it's just a fucking video. It's not happening to me necessarily. It's happening to that person that fucking filmed the video or something like that, or just focus on a lot easier shit, man. It's easier for me to do that than it is to do a lot of these other things that I do. Also, I do want to update you guys. Let me go grab him, actually. Let me go find him somewhere. Let me see. Let me find him. Oh, perfect. Give me that. Okay, I'm back. Don't worry, I got you. I got you. I got you. Muff here, all right, he has been doing. It's really wet, dude. You don't want to let go, okay? You don't have to let go. Muff, he is doing extremely better now. Um, my boy here, see, he's licking me. He feels like his old self, but he's just very skinny now, as you can see. I know the fur is still very thick and still there and stuff. But we got him some fur ball removal and stuff, because apparently in his stomach and shit, there was some type of blockage that was blocking him from doing the regular things. And I remember Dad a while back bought some like fur ball removal, right, to help him remove that stuff. And after a while of taking that, us putting that stuff in his water and he would be drinking it and stuff, right? He's not only gotten so much skinnier from all the throwing up and stuff constantly and all that, but he's also after doing all that throwing up and not eating that much and getting himself skinnier and stuff again, whatnot, he's actually been doing a lot better. Here, go ahead, bud. Inside. Oh, there you go. There you go, guy. But he's been doing a million times better now, and I'm happy that it was just a blockage and he isn't like dying, It was just a blockage that was really fucking with him and stuff. And thank God I noticed it, and and I asked Louie and Dad for help, like, hey, can y'all like scrounge up some money somewhat to help him out, and shit. And us constantly giving him water throughout those days too, like constantly giving him water so he can still drink and shit, even when he wasn't eating and shit. So we took care of him. He's feeling a lot better now. He's back to being his meow boxing self. So that was a big weight too that was also on my shoulders. Not only like all this mental trouble that I'm always constantly going through or having, but Muff being sick and the idea of him passing away on me, especially during this time, was also really weighing in on me. And it really was not good thinking about it, like day in, day out, that, my son, my boy, could possibly be going out, Not a good thought on top of what you're already thinking about, But thank God he's doing so much better. I'm happy Muff's doing better. I wanted to update you guys, since I haven't updated you guys on Muff in quite a while, other than maybe here or there I said, Muff's been this, Muff's been that. My dude has been all sorts of wild little things. By the way, ooh, what a cute cat. Hey, thank you. I cannot say that name, so I apologize. Is your cat a girl or a boy? Muff, he's a boy. That's my son. Muff is my son. Well, see you, dude, and God bless you. Hey, God bless you too, Boyd. I'll see you later, man. Like I said, I'll take baby steps, so maybe I'll dabble in small conversation here or there just to see how it goes and see how I be off to the horses and how I'm off to the races with talking to people and stuff again, And we'll see how it goes from there. Now, mind you, I'm not going to be, when I do the talking and all that stuff, mind you, I don't want to be playing too much. I don't want to be, like, playing no games or whatever. We just have a nice conversation and shit, or whatever. Well, I'll probably still play Roblox here or there, maybe. I don't know. Fuck all, I guess. I don't know. Maybe Roblox will still be something. I just don't want to do it so obsessively, since I did it so obsessively for that period of time, like over a month ago or so. So I don't ever want to do that too obsessively ever again, or to some extent, I want to do it on my own terms, on my own time zone, which is just whenever. But I think either today, tomorrow, or something, I just might sell my week, maybe. You love cats. Some maybe you're a cat person. I love cats. I've always loved cats my whole life. I've I've loved cats. I've had so many, in fact. Muff wasn't even my first cat. I've had Pineapple, Oliver, Smokey, uh, Waffles, Chi Chi, and then Chi Chi had babies, so there was like three to four other ones. So I remember I named one of them Baby Muff, because and since I've been with them like all my life, I knew I was a cat person, but I'm also a dog person. I'm a mix of both. I love both like equally. I don't know if I have a preference one over the other, because to be real with animals, it's they both have their ups and downs. Like for example, like a dog will be loyal to you. They will be your best friend till the day they pass away and stuff, right? But a cat, depending on what type of cat you got, he will be a piece of shit towards you, dude. Or they will barely give a fuck about you at all, bro. They'll like maybe come around every now and again, but like most time they don't give a shit about you, dude. They'll just ask you for food whenever they want it. Muff, on the other hand, he's like that at times, right? He is. He honest to God is. But at the same time, there's a lot of times where Muff will come in, lay on the bed, see how we doing, come on in. He wants to be with me genuinely and stuff, or and stuff. So he's like kind of like a mix between. He is that way, but he also isn't that way. Muff's a person of his own accord. I'm a dog person too. I have 5 dogs. You have 5 dogs? God damn. I can't remember the last time I had 5 dogs. I do remember when I had more than one though. I think I had like 2 or 3 dogs at a time, but I don't think I've ever had 5 at one time. Because I remember I had Oscar, Toby, and Peyton. Those 3 were all dogs, and we had like 3 dogs, and then like 2 cats. So we had like 5 pets. It's crazy, bro. At one point, I think. But like 5 pets total, not like 5 dogs total. Like I don't know how the fuck. Shout outs to all the dog owners that can just constantly do that shit like 24/7, 7 days a week, man. That can just take care of their shit all the goddamn time. I don't know how y'all can do it. Take care of 5 dogs. I don't know how y'all can do it, man. Crazy. If you have a dog, what are you going to name it? I do have a dog right now. She's been in my life for a long time. Little Mipip, that's her name. I don't know if I can show her, but because I'm more comfortable showing Muff on video than I am Pip. Mainly because, Pip's more of like my dad's dog. Not necessarily mine, but more of like my dad's dog. And, my dad's rules are my dad's rules. I'm showing Pip on video. I think I've shown her a couple of times, like a lot more on my older channel that I don't post on anymore. But I have shown her maybe a couple times here. Just not too much. I show Muff a lot more than I do Pip. And even then, it's very sparse when I show either Pip and Muff. Yeah, because I show them very sparingly. I don't try to show them all the time, because if I showed Muff like every vlog, that would be weird. Every vlog Muff's a part of, like in some way, shape, or form. I'm letting that dude live his life. He wants to sit there and chill, I'll let him sit there and chill, just like his dad. Allow me to sit over there and chill, and I'll chill. I'll be chilling. Trust. But anyways, Lucas, welcome to stream. What's up with you, man? Why are you sighing every time? I noticed you sigh, like the past couple of streams, you would sigh and say, "Hey, what's up, dude? What's going on, man? What's on your mind?" Well, you did mention, your grandma passed away, so I understand why you're not completely in the right, right mindset. So, to be fair, I completely understand that. But if there's even more than that on your mind and stuff, shoot it, bro. My name is my dog Tiger, or I think it's Tigger. Yeah, Tigger. Oh, wait. My dog's Tigger. Whiting, Sushi Fighter. Sushi, Tiger Whiting Sushi Fighter, Sophie. Those are the names from my dogs. Oh, I think it's there's a lot of dogs in our country. I got you. Tiger, Whiting, Sushi, Fighter, Sophie. Huh. That is a lot of freaking. Uh, that is a lot of dogs. A lot of animals and pets and stuff. Um, that is a lot. Because, I don't know, man. Because I do remember, like, me and other people about pets. I just remember, um, oh, man. You know, I just thought about this, right? I know this is completely on top of what we're talking about. I apologize. But I think another issue I have with a lot of these games that I play too is I think I take them too seriously. And there's like and I think that's also a big problem is I mean, to be fair, right? The games are also asking you to be serious about it in question. You know? Like, they're trying to task you with something, they want you to fucking do it, so it's like, okay, of course I'm gonna get a little serious about that. You know? But I think I also do have a problem with taking those games too seriously, and that's what ends up being my downfall, too. But it's like, if you're going to be serious, then I'm going to be serious. But if you're going to be goofy, I'm going to be goofy too. And I think I need to find more games that are more on the goofier side than more serious or with serious topics or whatever. But then again, you know, gaming habits die hard, I guess. I don't know. But, oh my god. My head. We've been talking for an hour 17. That's a long time. Ow. Oh my god, my hair, bro. My hair has been weird. It's growing back somewhat. I can see it. Yeah, but my hair's sticking out. Look at this. Look at that. My hair is sticking out. It's weird. But since I'm wearing this hat all the time, my hair doesn't get the time to shine to really stick up or stick out or whatever. It doesn't get to do that anymore since I'm wearing this cap. This cap is basically like my hat or my hair. Since you see me with it like every day, in gameplay, out of gameplay, I'm just always wearing it. It's almost like Dashi with his cap. He's always wearing his. Which I remember for so long. I always wanted to know what was underneath his hat, but Dashi will never show, and that's fine. He prefers it that way. That makes sense. But yeah, I'm still thinking. I can't believe I'm still thinking about selling my Wii. Or I'm still thinking about selling most of my shit for some cash. So I can just have some cash, go spend on some food or something. But a part of me doesn't want to get rid of all of my shit, like all my games, but a part of me wants to get rid of some of them. Because I know some of them I'm either not playing anymore, or most of them I'm not playing anymore, or just some of them I'm just like, I'm done with. Which character is your favorite in Sonic the Hedgehog? My favorite Sonic the Hedgehog character? Good question. Because I have a lot of favorites, or I have a lot of characters I really like. Like, I do like the main cast, like Sonic, Amy, Knuckles, Tails, you know, Shadow and stuff. But, what the fuck? But I think one of my absolute favorite characters, in Sonic the Hedgehog, for the most part, was, let me think of it. God, I have so many. Like, for 1 minute, I'm like loving Sonic a lot. He's like my favorite. Next minute, it's like Shadow. A lot of times, it would probably be like Mephiles. Other times, you know, I'm all over the place in terms of favorite characters in the Sonic mythos. But one of my absolute favorites that has stayed consistent over the many years was Mecha Sonic Mark II from Sonic the Hedgehog 3. For some reason, I know why. Super Mario Bros. Z really did impact that character for me a lot, but at the same time, like his actual character in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Mecha Sonic Mark 2 has just always been one of my favorite Sonic characters. Like, design-wise, he's just been fucking cool. I don't know why, but he just has that cool factor for me that's like over 9,000 a lot of the time. Even though he's not showing a lot of Sonic media, Mecha Sonic Mark 2, he's always in my goddamn heart. He's one of my absolute favorite Sonic characters of all time. Same with Scrooge. Like Scrooge, like Sonic's like not other self from like the Archie days. I love him too. Like he is cool as well. Loved him. Loved him. A more cocky, edgelordy, really edgy Sonic the Hedgehog. Like it's really cool. Like a Sonic from an alternative time that got powers of the Master. Fleetway is also another one of my other favorite Sonic characters too. Fleetway is also really cool. Fleetway Super Sonic, like an evil, bombastic, crazy Sonic. I love him. Love him to death. Love him to death. I love a lot of weirder Sonic characters, not like just the core Sonic characters. I also love like the more Archie Sonic characters and Sonic characters from like other comics too. They're all so cool. I kind of wish Fleetway got its... I mean, I know he got its own, like, Fleetway Sonic comics have their own run and stuff, but I kind of wish they continued on in their own separate mythos. Same with Archie. But Archie's got rebooted more than once, and they stopped because I think the main writer for Archie just either went away or something like that, or he's not doing anything anymore. I don't remember all that well, but you get it. I love a lot of the Sonic mythos, but I also love a lot of the outer Sonic mythos. It's great. Great stuff. But, so you like both. Yeah, I love, like, a lot of Sonic characters. Not just one. That's why I say I don't know if I necessarily have a favorite, because it either swaps, it switches and changes and molds into something else, something new. Or it stays similar, like, you know. But... if I was, oh goodness, I apologize. If I was asked on the street to say who my favorite Sonic character was, I probably would say Mecha Mark II or maybe Sonic or Shadow or something. If I was just pulled up asked on the street, hey, who's your favorite Sonic character? And then that would probably be like my choices. Or maybe if I felt something else that day, maybe Knuckles. I don't fucking know. But I digress. Sonic has a lot of characters, and it's difficult for a lot of people to really have their favorites, especially if there's so many characters that they have to their disposal. I'm still waiting for Sally Acorn to make her appearance in regular Sonic media outside of early days of Archie and, like, damn it, be in a game. I know Surge is in a game, but be in a damn game. Fuck. God, we've had Tangle and Whisper in games for years. Allow Surge and maybe Sally and some of the other Freedom Fighters to be in Sonic games. Fuck, that would be cool as shit. Like, the other rabbit chick that wasn't like vanilla or cream, you know? I can't remember her name, but she had like a robot arm and shit. Fuck. I don't know. They would be cool to see. In my opinion, they'd be cool. I know a lot of people have different opinions and different tastes, but they would be cool to see. Maybe in a Sonic game, or... Because I know Sally's in maybe a mobile game or two of Sonic, but I would love to see her in like an official Sonic game, like introduced in the lore somewhere, somehow, some way, shape, or form. And I know they've been trying to make Amy like a part of the main Sonic cast now and shit, but... yeah. But, which, I don't know if that's been working as of late. That might be... Excuse me. Yeah, no, they've been making Amy, like, Sega has been hard making Amy, like, a part of the main lead. Because it usually was just, like, if I remember correctly. They have the new IDW and DC Sonic comics. Yeah, those were cool. Yeah, those DC Sonic DC crossover, that was cool and all, but I don't know. Part of me just, I don't know, became less interested as that thing went along. Because every single time when they do a crossover story, it always has to be like, oh, someone wants the power of the emeralds, or somebody wants to do this and that or whatever, and they have to team up to save both worlds from colliding or being the end of it all or whatever the fucking hell. Or something like that. And that's just, in my opinion, I mean, it's cool, but I don't know. I just want something different, you know? Not just worlds colliding and two worlds are ending. Why can't they just be like, hey, you know, I came from like across the planet. What's going on? That'd be cool. You know, did you watch the episode of Sonic the Hedgehog Omega? No, because I don't remember a lot of the Sonic. I do remember like watching Sonic X, like that cartoon. That shit was lit. And I did watch a little bit of the OG Sonic cartoons, like Sonic, because I do remember Sonic X. That's something I do remember. The 4Kids dub, not necessarily the Japanese. I do remember watching Sonic Underground. I do remember watching a little bit of Sonic Sat AM, like years upon years ago. I need to rewatch it. And then I do remember like the Sonic the Hedgehog show because I've seen like clips of it and videos of it, like from other people over the years talking about it. But other than those, and obviously I've seen the Sonic Boom TV show and shit because that's hilarious. That's pretty funny. I haven't seen very much of Sonic Prime like all the way through before. That's something. And there might have been a couple of things here or there that I haven't really gotten the flow of, honestly. But other than those that I've seen, I've either seen them all the way through, seen a pilot, or like I haven't seen them at all. So it's like, other than those 6 that I can name off the top of my head, there might be some that I maybe have seen but haven't. But and keep in mind, I haven't watched any of those in a really long time. Maybe I've seen one or 2 episodes of Sonic X because I'm doing voiceovers for Sonic X that I would work on all the time. Oh, shit. Speaking of which, what time is it now? Let me see what time it is. It's like 11:18, something like that. Yeah, I probably should go back inside and coming up here and I fucking hate the squeaking of my goddamn shoes. Got it. I hate that noise. I think I might just leave him out here, or I will bring him inside, or something like that. I hate that noise. Ugh. Disgusting ass sound. I hate because I remember every time it would rain in school, I would always hate the sound of the sneakers like screeching on the floor, because it would just bring a disgusting like shiver down my body, man. I'm very sensitive to that noise. And other noises too that aren't like my own noise sometimes. God, there it goes again. Fuck you, sound. God, that kind of reminds me of one time when I was in like one of Louis' basketball games that he had in middle school, and all I could remember is I couldn't pay attention to Louis playing because that loud buzzer noise, the little to say that the period ended and shit, that would piss me off so bad that every time it came up, that's what I would be frustrated about. And I remember throughout that whole game that my mom and dad never brought me to one of those again, by the way. Never brought me to one of Louis' games after that ever again because just how loud that buzzing noise was. I wanted to meet that noise face to face and fucking square up with it, man, and just destroy it, shred it, ruin it, make sure it never makes noise again. Oh my god. There's a lot of noise I just want to stop. A lot of unnecessary noises and shit. The new episode of Sonic the Hedgehog 4 episode is coming. Amy and Metal Sonic? Wait, what are you talking about? There's no new episodes of Sonic the Hedgehog. There's no new TV show for Sonic out right now. What the hell are you talking about? Are you talking about the things like the Sonic the Hedgehog YouTube channel does, where they show little episodes of like what they were doing for Crossroads to help promote it all the time? What are you talking about? So I was about to say, there is no new episode of Sonic the Hedgehog anything, at least to my knowledge, that's TV show related, unless there fucking is, because Sonic has been booming right now, so it wouldn't surprise me if Sonic has something new going on, or whatever the fuck. Oh my god. But, other than that, I probably should go inside pretty soon. I'm about ready to be done. Because I've been vlogging here for an hour 30. That's way more than enough time. And this is like my second stream today, because my first one was, doing undertale sands, which I thought, again, was pretty cool. But anyways, so you're sensitive to sounds? A lot of sounds. There's a lot of sounds I have become a lot more sensitive to. That I've noticed that I've become more sensitive to. Either I'm just now realizing I'm sensitive to it a little bit, or I've always been sensitive about it, and I just never... Because I remember when me and Louis talked about it, Louis always said that you were always sensitive to these things, but you're just now either realizing you're sensitive to them, or you're letting it get to you, or whatever the fuck. I can't remember what he said word for word there, but when he said that, I'm like, I'm not letting shit get to me that's sensitive. It just fucking annoys me. Like, just now it annoys me. Like, just hearing it in my fucking ear. Like, it gets me a little agitated, so it gets me kind of going and shit into this state of mind where it's like, okay, I want to be done with that. Can you please watch your language? Huh? Oh, I get it. You want me to be PG. That's what that is. Yeah, probably not, because I've had a lot of people tell me what to do, especially with that, and I'm like, whose page is this? Yours or mine? My page. I say whatever I want. I mean, obviously I won't say like crazy like stuff like that or that or that or that or whatever words, but swearing, just dropping the F-bomb here or there, that's not that bad. I mean, sure, if it's every sentence, I can get why that would be annoying. Like every single sentence, I have to end it with a. That used to be my vocabulary actually. Back a couple of years ago, like I would have to end this every sentence with the F word or the S word or something. Or something, because I didn't know my way of speaking, or just the way I spoke, since I didn't have like a big vocabulary back then. That was how I would spoke or speak. I mean, I still do it from time to time. You'll notice that, like through a lot of my videos. But other than that, I have been trying to do somewhat better with my speech, because, yeah, it can be annoying ending off a sentence with the F word. Like, I just ended the sentence with the F-bomb or the B word or whatever, but it's not that bad. Every now and again and stuff. Pape, hey, welcome back. You could watch YouTube. What are you trying to say? Wait, what? Are you saying, like, YouTube will watch me or something? Because YouTube, or YouTube's AI system, watches everybody. And honestly, I don't want to be like that guy that just feels like I need to watch, like, everything I say. I get it to some extent. Obviously, I need to watch what I say, because obviously I don't want to fuck around and find out, mess with the wrong person or something. Because obviously I ain't going to do that shit. But I don't want to feel like I'm constantly watched by the YouTube gods up there 24/7. So, for the most part, I'm fine with what I'm okay with what I say on here. Obviously, I know the limits, and I know what you can and cannot say. But for the most part, it hasn't bothered YouTube one bit. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. What do you, what do you hate about most about sounds? It depends on the situation I'm in. Like, for example, like the screeching noise, right? When I do the screeching noise, let me try it. Like, whenever I make that noise, my whole body jitters, right? And I hate the whole jitter, and I hate the whole... My body shakes shit. Like, my body shakes whenever I make that noise or something. It makes me shake, it makes me a little nervous, it makes me feel certain things. I feel like it's... Whenever the sound happens, it makes me feel a certain way about the noise. That's what I'm trying to say about the noises, right? That's what bothers me about noise. Is I feel like the way it is and how it is. Like, for example, a noise that will agitate me, like, okay, if I'm sitting there chilling, right? Nothing's happening to me, around me, like, I hear nothing, like, birds are chirping, doing their thing, no, like, really annoying disturbances, I probably won't be bothered by a whole lot of things, right? But if I'm hearing, like, loud-ass music from, like, outside, the outside world, from other people, or whatever the fuck, that would disturb me. And I'm gonna walk as far away from that noise as possible. I really hated loud music starting with a long time ago. Let's just keep it at that. And it kind of grew into, I hate everybody who fucking does it. And I wish they would just put fucking headphones on because nobody wants to hear it but you. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. Ugh. And sometimes just bringing up that topic would bug the shit out of me too. So yeah, I get that. That's how how quickly I can get angry. But like, for example, like loud music or something, like I can just tune it out if I have my own shit I can put in. But if I don't have anything to really necessarily deal with that, I'm gonna be very annoyed and agitated about that noise, about that sound that happened in the first place. Right? And it doesn't even have to just be loud music. It can just be loud sounds that somebody just did. And I'm gonna feel a certain way about it. Right? Because I really am gonna feel a certain way about it. I miss this, Puplay. You miss hearing me? Miss hearing me sometimes? I miss it too. I need to vlog a lot more. I try to spread it out between days, maybe a couple weeks, but I don't do that a lot anymore. But hey, it happens. Shit happens. But and when I'm angry, I would probably argue that's when any sort of noise is probably the worst, is when I'm angry about the noise or I'm angry about something. Because, again, like I mentioned way earlier, when I'm angry and I hear like other people's noises or other people's things, it makes me want to lash out on the said noise or just lash out in general, which is why I go on a walk to like just go away from it so I don't do anything. Because I really get that urge to do something whenever I'm so frustrated. You know, all the noises combined with my own noise is frustrating me. Which is why I try to grab a bag and walk the fuck out. Walk away from it. So that way I can like have a minute. Allow myself to relax. But even then, sometimes I'm not completely calmed down. So it takes me a long time just to even calm down from like certain situations or whatever, or certain noises or just something. Like I said, sometimes I would even hear shit that's not even accurate to what's actually being heard. Like, for a long time, I would think something would be blasting. Like, if I'm playing a game sometimes, I don't hear it as often anymore, but I would hear, like, if someone would blast loud music, right? Right? I would think I'm hearing loud music, but all I'm hearing is just a video game being played in the background. That's all I'm hearing. Not loud music from, like, you know, somebody's playlist or something. But I would perseverate, and my hearing would hear that while I'm trying to do my own thing. But now I don't hear it as much anymore, because I'm not perseverating it in my eardrums anymore when I play. But it used to happen ridiculously a lot. It would happen so much so that I would be so annoyed of it. And sometimes it still happens, you know, to me, but it doesn't happen nowhere near as frequently as it does now. Which I noticed more and more of. This is probably why I need to see a fucking doctor, you know. Get all this shit checked out and figured out. So it can be on fucking paper that, yeah, you have all these problems, and you know what? Here's some things to fix the problems. Even though I notice most doctors, all they do whenever they see you have a problem, they just give you fucking meds. They just throw meds in your face and say, take these. This will get rid of your problem temporarily, and then come back for a refill in a couple weeks that you have to pay $30 to $40 for, and it's so fucking retarded. Nobody wants to do that. You gotta learn how to deal with it naturally, not fucking unnaturally with pills and medications. Because that's only a temporary solution, you know? And sometimes people really can't control it and they really do need meds to even just stop it for like 5 seconds. But I swear, I feel like if you can just master that problem or not have that problem by just living your life like I am and stuff, not on meds, you know, you're going to feel so much better about it and feel so much better that you found a way to stop this shit, you know, without the use of drugs, you know, and all that stuff that you thought you needed to stop it. I'm telling you, you're going to feel that much better about it. Do you make a vid? I just turned 10. Do you make a vid about you turning 10? No, I don't. But happy 10th birthday, I guess? I don't know. I mean, this stream should not be for 10-year-olds. I'm going to be so honest. The stream should be for teenagers and adults, to be honest with you, but I don't know. Maybe watch one of my more fun videos. But my question, do you ever been bitten by a dog? I think I have. I know I have been bit. I've been bit by a gecko. I've been bit by, obviously, mosquitoes. I've been stung by a bee, not a wasp. I've been stung by a bee before. I have been bitten by a cat. I can't remember. Yeah, Pippa did bite at me a couple of times. But it was way back in the day and stuff where she'd be, because back then, my dog Pip, she would be stupid defensive for no fucking, and keep in mind, this would be like no reason whatsoever. She would be so defensive about, you know, her and Dad that she would like growl at me for no reason. She would growl at me all the goddamn time. She would growl. She would either growl, bark at me, mix of that, or maybe even try to bite when all I'm trying to do is maybe give her a little pet. That's it, like a small little, hey, what's up? Type shit. She would kind of try and bite me, so I'd be like, what the fuck? I'm guessing she might have learned from Snickers or something, that, my other dog before he passed away, to be a lot nicer, but she has definitely completely toned down since then. Like, completely toned down. Like, she doesn't really bite or growl at me anymore most of the time. She's just excited to see me. She's normal. She's calm. She allows me to pet her and stuff 90% of the time. So she's good. She's good now. But back then, she would be a pain to deal with most times. That fucking noise. But my bad. My shoes are like not my shoes, but my flip flops. God, I've noticed I have a lot of dry skin. Louie and I don't really necessarily, I don't necessarily care about lotion, but damn, dude, it is showing that I got a lot of dry skin here. I got a lot of that. I might need to get rid of that. You know what I'm saying? No? But, are your doctors like, that's it? Not the same here? The doctors are nice? No, I got shot by a needle twice. See, the thing is, I don't know because I haven't been to a doctor in over a couple of years. Or actually, no, I haven't been to a doctor in a near decade. Like I haven't had and mainly that is because it is so expensive that we can't really necessarily like drop like a couple $100 so casually to go get a checkup or to go get your annual shit. We just can't do that. You know? Like all the time drop hundreds of bucks just for me to go see somebody. We can't do that. Or I can't do that. Even I can't do that by myself because I don't make nowhere near enough money consistently to really go get myself checked out all the time. I would need to like really save up a lot of YouTube payments probably just to even see a doctor once. Which would be ridiculous in my opinion, but I don't know why my finger here just keeps hurting. My pointer finger keeps hurting like ridiculously. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous of the ridiculous. By the way, thank you for the 7 likes. Also, I want to thank the person who gave me 95 cents in terms of jewels / little crystals a couple vlogs back. Thank you. You did not go unnoticed. Thank you for the 95 cents. That was close to $1. Thank you. I appreciate that in little sticker stamp things. By the way, my YouTube membership's in the description, by the way. If you want to join it, it's like $1 or $2 or a couple a month. Not that much. In comparison to like Disney Plus or something like that, or whatever subscriptions people like to get, or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But, oh my god, I did say I was going to end this vlog, didn't I? But I still haven't yet. Because I still got so much to talk about, so many questions, you know, and so many things I like to ramble on about. Which I noticed, yes, I noticed I am a rambler. I ramble on a lot. Which a lot of people used to call me, like, oh, the professional yapper, he's back. And I'm like, yep, the professional yapper is back. What can I say? Yapping is a fun thing, I guess I like to do. But then I don't like to do it when I'm off camera because it's just... Sorry, just these fucking puddles. I keep forgetting that there's puddles right down there. Like, look at this. It rains so much. It's all over the table right here on the left that you can't see. It's all over the fucking ground. Like, you can see that. It's all over the ground. Yeah, see? You can see that. All over the place. It's annoying. But, yeah, it's something. I mean, at least the rain's good. But, anyways, I digress. I'm gonna get out of I'm gonna for real get out of here now. If y'all enjoyed this vlog, make sure you guys leave a like. Also, comment and subscribe if y'all enjoyed what I said here, and understand why I'm probably gonna talk to Chris about it. Why not? Why not get him in and just talk to him about some of this or just some of that? But just please understand like where I'm coming from, and you don't have to necessarily agree with what I'm doing, but just at least understand, like at least, you know, to some extent. You don't, again, you don't have to agree, but just understand, you know, where I'm coming from with the whole video games thing and shit. Yeah, maybe if you liked other things that I said, you know, check out other vlogs. I got like 216 other ones of these. God, saying that out loud is weird. 200 fucking times I vlogged. That's crazy. But I digress. If y'all enjoyed, y'all enjoy. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want to do those things, or maybe join my membership, or maybe watch a couple ads. You know, that will help me out get some revenue a little bit, like a cent or two, since I don't make a lot of revenue on YouTube in the first place. But you get it. Anyways, take care. Bye. That is my mental / life health update for now. What do you do when you have nothing to do? Good question. I either just sit back, I listen to music, I draw, and if I really have nothing to do, I don't know, maybe fucking jerk off or something? I don't fucking know. Like, there's tons of things I can figure out what to do when I have nothing to do. You know, if I have nothing to do, like I'm done with the streams for the day, or if I'm done with that, I can do a multitude of things. Uh, I've been in a doctor once because I was sick, and they have to put a needle on my neck to make me feel better. It's very painful. I fucking bet that. Jeez Louise, you gotta get a needle in the neck. I'm scared getting a needle in the goddamn arm. Fuck that shit. Anyways, I'm out for real this time. I'll see y'all later. Deuces.